How do I look? How do I look? Tell me how I look. I've not been asleep properly for ages. And we just lit there going to me like what the and I'm like, I was sat there going, like genuinely like, what the actual fuck just happened today? I went literally just like this because I thought it's supposed to be like one of the greatest days ever. And I thought, I just fucked her up.
I know this journey. I've done it for many other people as a consultant. I've never done it being part of it. Things like slow builds, things like that. Yeah, you anticipate that, not to the level that we did. You know, the problems that we had at times were like enough to make you go, are we doing the right thing?
Good to go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Kamran of Kamran Rasul. My name's on lights in case you missed it.
Cam, do you realise like you're tagging me loads of shit on me? That's what's like distracting me. Maybe just stop playing with the phone. I'm Erica, and I'm the quiet half of Kamran Rasul, dentist.
What feels like an eternity. We have been building this thing of beauty. I call my new house. I introduce everyone to it as my new home. If you'd have told me in December that it was going to be this much effort, I'd have just been like, mate, do you know what? It's been a great breakfast. We won't be seeing each other after this. It's been one hell of a journey. It's been emotional. It's taken an awful long time. But could I envisage it any better than what it has turned out? I couldn't know. I remember seeing it from the street. This is before the building was done, you see, so it's it looks different. So when I first seen it, I thought location is amazing. It was a big space, kind of knew more the space. I know I needed space, didn't know how it was gonna work, but the location was amazing. We had parking, we'd seen another space and I thought that was amazing for location and foot flow. But on reflection now, when you look at this place and where it stands, it's significantly better.
You need to read the information.
Is the shutter staying or going?
The shutter is going, I think, from memory.
And are we going to need shutters then as well?
We're not having shutters anyway.
Why wouldn't we?
Why would we be having shutters?
Safety.
Because we want people to walk past the dentist and see the chairs, so we can't have a shutter because I'm going to see the chairs.
So clever. You're the clever one. So clever.
I want to press the buttons.
Don't press the buttons. That says fire alarm. Press the fire alarm button. There was walls in between places. It was kind of hard to actually envisage, and there was false walls in places, so you didn't know how far back something was going to go. But I kind of had a vision of how things were going to look. And then when all the walls went down, I went, oh my God, it's not big enough. And now I look at it, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, it's actually massive. So it's weird how you perceive things and how things actually turn out. There's only so much of your vision that you can try and make other people do without wanting to do it. And then I was like, do you know what? That's it now. And then I remember literally this thing, I picked the phone to Erica, and I was like, Erica, listen, this is what I'm going to do, but I will not do it unless you say you're on board.
With the builders and, you know, the people that were involved, it was that reoccurring, same problem, different problem. Do you know what I mean? Same root cause. You can only tell somebody something so many times until you go, I don't believe you, and then you follow it up in an email, and we all know that I like to write it down and then follow it up and then be like, right, we're doing this.
All the walls are going up, like I remember when I first seen it, I was like, oh, I don't think it's big enough. Now I look at it, I'm like, no, it really is big.
So 1st of April.
1st of April. I can't wait to see my doors, and my doors look sick. Honestly, my doors look sick.
And he deserves the opportunity to do it himself, you know, like really be at the front of that rather than being at the side or, you know, behind the scenes. I really think it's his time to go forward and to be, you know, like the face of his own practice. And you know what, the people that you work with are great. We met some really lovely builders along the way. You know, we've had a giggle, and some of the people, they have every intention of doing what they do. But when you're doing a build like this, I deal with one person, and behind that person is their company and 20 other people and every one of them need to know what's expected and what's happening, and that's the problem.
We didn't expect to have to deal with it ourselves, but I think this is where Erica wins, because if it wasn't for her, I would literally have set a match to the place. That's not even a joke, because it's like this, that's where Erica's strengths lie. Mine do not. So it's been 84 years. No. It's now been a few weeks since you were last here. We have walls. We've got ceilings now going in. We've got this beautiful vent work, which is absolutely stunning, but it means we have clean air. And the sciencey part of it, we now have 12 air exchanges an hour in every room at least. So, do you know what? I need to show you this. Look at that. It's like something out of the Matrix. So I went, that is uber impressive. I think mirrors here, so that Erica could come out of her office and have a look at her hair.
Yeah, because I'm going to spend the most time in the mirror, obviously, Cameron. Looking at your hair.
I've not looked at the mirror, as you can tell.
So the lighting
Not for a few days. Well, we've been told the 20th of April, but on a phased opening. We'll only have 2/3 of the building operational. A few weeks after that, once the front windows and doors are completed, we'll then be finished off the front. So I'm going to say mid-June for the final actual completion, but we'll be open.
I was going to say end of May. I'm a bit more optimistic. So yeah.
I think I can deal with one thing at a time quite easily, and I can go. I think we got to a stage where there was like 3 consecutive different problems, and it's almost if like when you deal with one thing at a time, it's easy. Trying to deal with 3 problems in one and then trying to switch off.
At the point where it's like, that's the only thing we were talking about was the build. You know, we've been friends for a long time and we've only actually worked together once before. And after that previous experience of working together, I said I'd never work with him again, because I thought it just changed our relationship, our friendship, how we interacted on a daily basis. So I thought, I don't want to do that.
Well, it drove us up the wall, that was one, but that's understandable, trying to deal with builders all the time. It did stress the hell out of him and us.
I think I was depressed last week. I think I had anxiety for the first time in my actual life, and I lost a night's sleep for the first time in years. Yeah.
So it should be that Monday. He's asking for that Thursday or Friday
For an inspection.
for an inspection, which wouldn't give you the paperwork till the 14th.
He's a cunt.
Biggest journeys we've got on.
Yeah.
When I was seeing that old, worried Cam, really focusing on the negative.
And there was nothing wrong. And I'm sat there looking at myself going, go to bed, mate. And literally think, go to bed. Couldn't switch off.
Looking at that, you could see Cam had really negative days and days where it was like, okay, the pressure of the finances was adding a pressure to our friendship, to the build, to everything else, not only the schedule, but everything in between, I think.
It's nothing to do with manpower or manufacturing or equipment. It's just space, trading at the right time. That's all it is.
But you work double shifts.
I can't do it any quicker.
It can't be long enough.
I think because we had panics around the money, you know, especially when you think it's one amount and it grows, and it just kept on growing. We wanted to keep it true to what we said at the beginning, you know, just the 2 of us. I'm now glad that we managed to achieve it. It was about keeping it to what the intention was at the beginning. Before you're going to chuck it in and just go, right, we're going to have to accept help, let's just see if we can do it. So we did, and we have, but we nearly never.
I didn't stop. I think the moment you stop and you take too much time to dwell on the failure or something that's not going well, it kind of consumes you. And I think for every hurdle that we had, there was something else to deal with, another issue, or there was something else to deal with. And I think me and Erica taking it on board ourselves, literally learning majority of everything in this whole build. Like, I think that's what made us more knowledgeable about the whole thing from start to finish. You don't really stop, and I think it's when you stop and you start delving on the crap, it does consume you and it does depress you. But I think because it's like one thing after that, it's non-stop. It kind of just comes to the end, and then someone's saying to me, it's going to come to the end, you're going to ask yourself what you're going to be doing, and I don't want that to happen.
So yeah, I would say it was the biggest test of our friendship, but we got through it. I'm really excited because it shows how in 2 weeks it's open. The books are filling up, you know, the buzz around it. Yes, Cam's got his name in lights and, you know, we're going to have to manage that ego a little bit. But, you know, it just shows you what could come of it and how it can grow and develop.
So there's not going to be another space in the next 12 months of the show?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. What are you thinking?